Hello and welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a Lego set and hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site emote in the chat. If you're currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. Let the people know. Harold is hosting the stream and also threw those emotes in. Thank you, Harold. This is the intro portion of the stream where we're letting some folks mosey on in, fashionably late, and then we're going to get building. Yeah, just see if we can get a few more folks. I don't expect them to be watching right now. Julie's here. Hi, Julie. But I do want to give a shout out to our latest follower who followed us yesterday because their username is Great Big Sword, and that's a very good username. I would even say that that is a great username. So welcome, Great Big Sword. Hope you find your way to watching a stream live at some point. You got a great username. But yeah, this happens. We're hanging out. We're gonna wait. Let some people join us. We get in there. Is this going to be a chill evening? Possibly. Thursday was a little light. It's okay. I understand. Working on the camper van. It's a Lego set. We haven't done. We did a Lego set not too long ago, but we did that Nanoblocks. And Nanoblocks. Hey, what's up, Lord Cratchit? Nanoblocks left a bad taste in my mouth, so I want to get back into Lego. We did Miles Morales, but we were in this room when we did it, so it's been a hot minute. But here's the little instruction there. It's just a holiday camper van. One thing to note, I have swapped the baby holding responsibilities of our two people here. We switched the camera. Yay, Lego built. Indeed, Julie. Because originally this minifig had the baby and this minifig had the camera. And I was like, why? Let's just swap it. Who cares? Also, the croissant is very big. Where is that croissant? Look at the different... The croissant is the size of the camera. I'm going to put it right up here. Those are the same size. We don't like that. That's nonsense. As we wait to see if a few more folks want to join us, I will let you know that you may have noticed folks that were kind of new. Maybe if you joined in February, you might not realize this. This is normally where I stream. The new normal, which happened, Lashbrook is here. Hi, Lashbrook. The new normal happened to me in July of 2020 when I moved to South Carolina in with my folks and said goodbye to New York for the time being. And then fast forward to February of this month and the very beginning of March, where my folks went even further south for a month, and I stayed here and held down the fort. I moved all of my gear out of the bedroom that I'm currently in right now into the Carolina room, the bonus room, and set up there. And that was nice because it separated the bedroom from my workspace. And it was nice, and I didn't feel like I was only using one room in an entire house. And it was more open, and that was good. I like that. But it's good to be back in this room. The biggest change between this room and that space is carpet floor instead of tile, so my feet aren't cold. Although I am, there we go. Getting there, getting the zone here with the camera and all that. Gotta get readjusted. The big difference is temperature, because my PC is right over there. This room is small. There's one window. The heat is trapped in here, and it is, I would say, 3 or 4, maybe even 5 degrees warmer in here than it is in the rest of the house, and that rules, because I am not wearing a hoodie. I did during the stream, which I have been doing the past couple month or so, is having to throw a hoodie on for most of my streams. I don't have to do that, and that's great. I'm very happy about that. Negatives. Because folks, if you're new to this, we're just killing a little time. We'll get to building, but we let people stroll in before we get going and kind of get my intro and ease in, and also figure out talking out loud, which I didn't do today until right now. Problems. Hey, Bobby, welcome. Not problems, differences that we're dealing with in the moment. Here in this room, so there. The big one is that we are wireless instead of wired. And immediately noticed that trying to download something and it just taking longer than if I had been wired. That's a bummer, but it's okay. I got a good wireless card. Things are working out all right. We should be fine here. Shouldn't have any issues. Even wired, we were still dropping frames now and again just because the internet here is not the strongest. And unlike New York, where I was pinging a server in New York, I am pinging a server, I believe, in Georgia. So that's a state away. It's distance. Also, the background. Now, you may remember, I mean, it was Thursday when I was in the Carolina room. I built a little set. I moved a bookcase, put some model kits on top of there. I have a table that's directly behind me that just is, this is going to be, you can't see it. There's a table behind me. It's my nightstand. I put clothes on there, and such. It's kind of where where stuff that I didn't feel like hanging up ends up. Um, I got to do something there, but it's not tall enough. Hey, Jim, welcome. It's not tall enough to put figure and see. It'd have to be pretty high. It'd have to be pretty tall. So I'm thinking I might try to find some shelving or something. I'm going to look in the garage. I'd like to have something, because it doesn't have to be too tall if it was over here in the corner. It has to be narrow because that door opens because it's a closet. But I'm like, I'd like to put something there just to have some kind of more background, so it's not just a photo, or it's not just the box for the Gohan action figure model kit that I cut out and then stuck in a frame, because that's right now, and then the bed frame, whatever. Anyway, we're going to get into building Lego, because here's the beautiful thing about Lego. If you haven't seen a Lego stream of mine, it, you can fix your mistakes. It, there's some stickers. I'm going to be a little worried about nailing that, but other than that, it's just relaxing. I'm not doing water slide transfers. I am not building a model kit where it's just like, oh no, oh, that's wrong, and this is never going to look right. I'm building a Lego set. I skip a step, I can go back. It's easy. We're going to retweet our tweet, see if we can get a few more eyes on the product. Remind people that this is what they could do with their Saturday night if they wanted to. Oh boy, never gonna live this down. Okay, and camper van. Okay, so now I got to move the mouse out of the way, and we're back in this setup. The lighting is a bit different than it was there. You can see some of the Legos splayed out here. We got our minifigs. We got our little like camp fire. Well, I should say like propane burner thing here with the egg, which is not attached, so it moves around. We'll put those aside. We don't need to worry about those friends there. And we'll get into some building. And I'm just going through the steps here. We'll start with our frame. We're going to build it up. This camper does allow you to move some stuff around. The other one side opens up, which would not be part of the camper, but is so you can design it, or stage it, I should say, which is pretty fun. But yeah, Lego is very chill, and I'm happy about that. Um, it is nice. I don't know if it's nice to be back in this room. It's nice to be back to the normal setup, because that means that tomorrow my folks return from Florida in the afternoon, which is great. It has been good to have a little bit of alone time, but also I look forward to their return, and seeing them and talking to them. Having lunch just about every day together. It's a nice dinner almost every night. It's good. They'll probably go out and see their friends, the local friends that are in our bubble. Also, the couple that we are closest with here, that my parents are closest with, they live a few doors down. The fish belong to them that I've been feeding this week. My little gig of fish feeding that is their fish. Both of them have now gotten both of their shots. So theoretically, well, not theoretically. So that's a wonderful relief for them and also for us. And my parents are they got a call about getting an appointment, but they were in Florida. And in Florida, it wasn't going to happen with the people outside the state. They're handling very poorly in general. But here it looks like they might be able to schedule an appointment, or actually get their first round of the vaccine, which would be incredible. I'd be very happy. Not only because it goes to further, protecting my parents, who I love dearly, of course, but also uh, once I'm done being like, oh yeah, that's just good. It's just like a good thing, and that'll be great. Um, there's the practical side of it, which is uh, I can theoretically start looking at work that would be outside of this house, um, which I have refused to do because my dad is immune compromised, and I refuse to put him at risk. So I don't know, if and when I'm going to be able to get the vaccine, anything like that. They're not. It's going to be a long way before that happens. But the idea that if my folks are vaccinated, then I can start looking at some jobs that I've had to pass on because it would require me to like go to a location that was where social distancing was probably not a priority. So that would be nice. I don't want to work in an environment like that. I'd like to work in a safe environment, but if my folks are less at risk, then that is certainly a benefit. So yeah, weather was nice here. I did my last fish feeding today, and that was cool because they're coming back tomorrow as well. So fed some fish, fed some crabs, hung out, looked at it. I tweeted this yesterday, but of course I didn't stream yesterday, so now it's content for the stream. Um, Let me ask you, folks that are watching the stream right now, have any of you ever owned fish? Because I've never owned fish before. Never in my life. Uh, and it was pretty relaxing. And I don't know if it's because of the pandemic and my own need for anything or routine or what, but it was pretty cool to feed those fish and like look at them go for the food and swim around. I was like, huh. I said this myself that I don't, I'm definitely not going to get fish here in South Carolina, but in the future, when I'm settled somewhere on my own again and kind of rebuilding, um, maybe I'll get fish. I don't know. Julie had beta growing up. He lived for years. Okay. Bobby owned fish. We owned fish when I was young, and Lashbrook only had crackers, so just goldfish. My dad had a couple aquariums back in the day. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, we never had fish growing up. We had a cat. Well, basically, my entire youth up until I went to college, we had a cat that we got as a kitten, and then we had dogs as well. But I do have to. It is a thing where I've told myself, okay, well, Pat, reevaluate this when you get settled somewhere. Like, don't make this decision now. Dogs, gerbils, and an iguana. Never had gerbils or guinea pigs or any of that family. Hamsters, anything like that. Never had any of that. My second cousin had two ferrets, and they were pretty cool. And he would walk them on a leash, and that was weird and fun. I enjoyed those. I enjoyed those ferrets. You really had to wash them because they get stinky. Really had to bathe those ferrets constantly. Um, but they were cool. I remember them fondly. All right, clear. Ooh, look at that. We got clear red. That's a good color. There are some really sharp colors on this kit. Particularly, I really like this pale blue. You can see it compared to the dark blue. This pale blue is really nice. Really like that. All right, so we got these two here. Great. We're doing, I guess, yeah, we're building out the wheel wells here for our vehicle. Ask me anything about cars. Anyway, like I said, I'm contemplating the idea of perhaps I'll get fish someday because I thought it was pretty cool. And the nice thing about fish is you don't have to take them for a walk every day and pick up their poop in a plastic bag and throw them away. Pretty great. You don't have to do that. So that's a plus. And also hi to people that just joined. Weird timing. Um, Anyway, what else was I gonna say? I'm gonna say something else. I don't know. Um, yeah, I'm just kind of getting back, get back into the rhythm of what my life has been here. Today, I worked a job, fed the fish, and then also did some customer service today. There are justifiably some very angry people out there. Uh, the number one thing that I don't want to hear is you being surprised that the post office is bad. The postal service, I say, is bad. Like, it's been bad. Like, I know it sucks in some instances, and some people are definitely put out, and that's awful. But like, some people out there are pretty damn surprised that as if that was a brand new thing. I was like, cool. Uh, I mean, it does suck, but depending on how big your aquarium is, maintenance can be a pain. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I would go buck wild with it. I would definitely have like a filter and some lights. Um, change the water out and some fish there, and then just whatever. I'd probably sink a model kit to the bottom because why would I not do that? I mean, that's me. I would definitely do that. Maybe I would put sink the bottom like a Gundam and something from One Piece because you know me, you know what I'm all about. But yeah, uh, as always, customer service is rough, and I don't love doing it, but it is. I am on a fill-in job for it, so I'm not going to turn down the work, even though I pretty much really dislike it. But whatever. Sometimes people are just like you help them, and they're just like, and you can tell that they're very excited that you are helping them. And sometimes I've talked about this before. I still can't believe that people don't know where they bought something from. People who are like, I can't find my order. I didn't get an email about my order, and you're like, okay, well, I'm looking up your name, and we have records. The last thing you bought from us was 5 years ago. Can you link me to the product? Well, I can't find it. I'm looking for it. I can't find it. It's this thing. Okay, well, we don't sell anything like that. Uh, Here's what you should do. Go into your email, what credit card did you use? Because you can check the statement there. And then you don't hear back from them. And when you don't hear back from people, it's almost exclusively because they ordered from a different website. They're just used to using you, and they didn't even think about it that they found something somewhere else. So they just like, yeah. When I don't hear back from people, it's not like they magically found it in their email. It's that they were like, oh no, I goofed. Guess I'll never talk to this person again. Oh, what happened here? Oh, okay. I put this piece on wrong. Our first mistake of the night. Pop that off there. Thank you, brick separator. If you're new to the stream, you haven't seen a Lego stream of mine, this is the brick separator. I have a bunch of these. I recommend getting it. It's a few dollars on Amazon, or if you buy a very big kit, you will get one in the mail, or included in the package. If you buy a large model kit or a Lego set, can't recommend it enough. Removing pieces from the top, from the bottom. The wedge is great for it. Popping pieces out with this, very great. You can even remove two pieces that are identical, stacked on top of one another, without a problem. Thin pieces, it's great. Especially if you did a bunch of stuff like this. Let's say, hey, we're on step 21. Let's say on step 8, I fucked up. I can get that apart pretty fast and put the pieces in that I need to put in. Very helpful. And it means I don't have to use my old method when I was a young person, which was a butter knife or my teeth or a nail file or whatever you got, You don't have to worry about that. I did know my pieces here, separating by color and then trying to organize by shape, like-minded shapes, just to make things easier. Like, I know where these are. I can find these white pieces all the time. They're 1x4s, but only 2 pegs at the top. That's easy to find because I put them all together. Some people do by shape, not by color. So they'll put like they would put this together with these. And they're just be like, well, it's the 1x4s. And I'm like, that does not, my brain does not enjoy that. It is not a fan of that choice. If that's how you do it, you do your way. But that's not how I like to do things around these parts. I like to look by color. And I'm like, okay, I need 2 pieces of blue. Let me find the 2 blue I need. When you're dealing with, also, this had 2 bags, but I just dumped both bags and separated. When you're dealing with 1,400 piece kit, even at 800 piece kit, just null a bag at a time or 2 bags at a time. You don't want to dump all. If you have 8 bags, don't rip apart 8 bags at once. Um, that way you're not accidentally borrowing pieces from the future. You're just working a bag at a time. Or 2 bags, like I said, 2 bags at a time maybe, because it does speed things up. I think this is like the coffee bar that we're working on here. So we'll get this together here. Clear piece there. Let's see, what else? Yeah, cooked my last meal for myself for the foreseeable future. I mean, I take turns doing dinner and helping out with that. Don't get me wrong. I don't, leave it up to whatever. But my mom does enjoy cooking quite a bit. So, this is like a bottle cap kind of thing. It's gonna be hard to see on there. This right here. That's a cool little etching. Um, And this is making a coffee maker. This is looking like it's supposed to be a coffee maker, I think. Okay, that's neat. I like that. A little clear there. Went there. A little Keurig or something. That's kind of cool. I like that. This is definitely going to go inside. Yep, that's going inside. That goes in here in the back. Neat. Oh, you'll probably be able to see that in the back of it. Okay, that's cool. But yeah, I finished up my last meal for, just me. My folks will be coming back tomorrow. And I think we're just going to get, we got the kitchenette back here. Cool, cool. Or dining area. We'll put that together. Yeah, excited to have them back in the house. It'll just be nice. Just nice to see them. It's been weird. Kind of got used to. I've definitely gotten used to being kind of alone and doing whatever. Like I said, this is now me talking out loud for the first time today, because I was certainly. I mean, it's not completely accurate. I was talking out loud. It's just I was talking out loud to myself. I was like saying things out loud and whatever. I'm like, I should do this. Oh, I gotta do that. Or, actually, I should have cleaned this more often than twice. I should have done this weekly. Or, I gotta do that. Like talking out loud. I still do that. Because it's obviously different than what I'm doing right now, which is talking to people. Because I know you're there. That is different than just like talking out loud to no one. But it is still like it's not the same thing as like being on a phone call or like a video chat or something. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to just sitting with my folks tomorrow. That'll be cool. Oh, sorry. I spent the day trying to hunt down and boy, I've definitely gotten older in one way, which is finding illegal things on the internet, which you call gray area, but are just illegal, is a thing that that's definitely a young person's game because they got time and motivation. I pay for my anime now by having subscriptions to services or buying them. So I just watch stuff on Funimation or, I did Hulu, Crunchyroll, all that. Like I just get what I want from there. Oh, we're putting stuff in the back here, right? Yeah, just get what I want. Pay for services, get that. Occasionally maybe I'll buy something, rent something, whatever. But what do you do about OVAs that come out? Because sometimes subscription services pick up those OVAs, those extra content, the things that came out. Uh, if you want to watch the OADs, the digital video stuff that came out for that time I got reincarnated as slime, you can watch all of them. They're licensed, but there was the second OVA for Love Is Hard for Otaku came out. Now, Love Is Hard for Otaku was on Anime Strike. If you remember Anime Strike was Amazon's big venture into having anime streaming. It was something you paid for beyond your Amazon Prime, so people didn't do it, and then eventually it just went away, and now it's just on Amazon Prime. But Amazon isn't interested in picking up OVAs for Love Is Hard for Otaku. So the second OVA came out like last week, and I haven't seen it because I don't know where to watch it. Because the big site that I would use when I wanted to watch that got taken down last year, and some other sites have come up in its place. But I'm like, I don't know where to get this. And don't tell me. But it's weird. It was a weird thing to realize. I'm like, oh yeah, now that I pay for my anime, I don't know how to get anime for free. Like, basically, I feel like eventually someone will just put it up on YouTube in like 3 months, and I'll just find it accidentally. That's how I found the Too Legit. Indeed, that's how I found the first OVA for Love Is Hard for Otaku, which came out I think last year. I just randomly saw, like, I was watching other clips of things, and then saw that the OVA was up, and I was like, oh, cool. But, like, yeah, I'm like, I think I watched that series on Netflix last year, but I doubt they would get it in OVA. Yeah, I believe that it was just licensed out to Netflix eventually. Because Netflix dabbles now and again. Obviously, they do pay for their own anime, but yeah. Yeah, it's like High Dive does some licensing, because it's funny. Let's say that you really like Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? Let's say you like that show. You could watch that on Crunchyroll if you want. But if you want to watch the OVAs, High Dive gets the OVAs. They license the OVAs to that. I don't know why, but they do. So you can get that through them, but you have to watch it on Verve. And it's so weird. But then, like, yeah, Crunchyroll will get, like, Dragon Maid. They'll get, like, the Dragon Maid OVA. But they won't get the New Games OVA. They have both seasons of the New Game, but they don't have the OVA. And I don't, I can't begin to imagine the licensing issues with all that and the choices that people make for those things. But it is a thing where I'm like, oh, okay. It is frustrating when you want to watch it. And you're like, well, I'd get it. I've never seen the movie for Non Non Biyori. Non Non Biyori is in its third season right now, and it's adorable. It's a lovely little slice of life. It's like Azumanga but its weirdness is more natural and less like over the top. There are a lot of like pregnant pauses in the show that are just part of the humor and really, really well done. They have a movie that came out that I believe is canon. It is part of the world, but it's not been referenced. And so I think Sentai Films licensed it, but it's not available for streaming anywhere. Hey, that Nick just followed. That Nick Finn is now following. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. It's like everything else, where all of this series of priority is spread out among various services instead of in one place. Yeah. Or like, it looked like Cells at Work was only going to be on Funimation this season 2, because it was only promoted as being on Funimation, and then like it's a strange deal. It's on Crunchyroll, but it's like several weeks behind, which I don't think I've seen. I've seen that obviously dubs, because simuldubs are hard to do, especially in a pandemic. This year has been very hard to do simuldubs. Simuldubs are pretty much not happening. But having a show have a delay like that is pretty odd. It has been an odd thing to observe because also like they didn't say like, hey, coming on this date we're getting the show. They just didn't have it, and you're like, oh, I guess they didn't get it because that happens now and again. Usually, what ends up happening is you will see a show that Crunchyroll had exclusive streaming rights to show up on Funimation and a dub start, and then you will see the second season. And sometimes they're on both, but like Love is not Love is Hard. Love is War. Kaguya-sama was on Crunchyroll, and then it came to Funimation, and season 2 was just on Funimation. And it's like, oh, I now know that's there, but I didn't know that was going to happen until you start seeing promos for it. Um, and sometimes you can kind of guess where shows are going to end up, but like, yeah, you never know who's going to get what and where it's going to be. Because like, cute slice of life can be on Crunchyroll and Funimation. Action-y isekais are often on Crunchyroll, but sometimes also on Funimation. Um, Idol stuff is mostly on Funimation, but sometimes ends up on Crunchyroll. Uh, Crunchyroll does a lot more like this is a program definitely aimed at kids than you will see on Funimation, but that's not always the exclusive. And yeah, I don't know. It is weird to kind of keep an eye on that stuff uh, when you're like trying to watch things and observe it all. But also, hey, welcome Zero. But also, most likely, because it's probably not going to get stopped, Crunchyroll and Funimation will merge, since it looks like Sony is buying Crunchyroll's parent company. Yes, we are doing. Don't eat Zero. I know that this is a lovely looking croissant. Please don't eat the croissant. But I understand. I understand. Sometimes Legos look delicious, and I get it. But also welcome everybody. We got a little bump here in viewers. It's lovely of you. Um, yeah, we're just doing a chill. They're just so shiny. I understand. We're just doing a chill Saturday night stream here. I haven't done Lego in a hot minute, and also, now this won my poll because I have a poll that I put up when it's almost time to start a new kit. My $10 patrons get to vote on what I do next based on what I have, unless something has been bought off my Amazon wish list, which gets priority. And if I have multiple things bought on a wish list, then I'll put those up and the patrons vote on that. But I was so happy they picked this Lego set after the Enterprise NX-01. You put stickers on your Legos, disgusting. Hey, but like, I don't know, that looks rad. I think that looks awesome. I always put the decals on. I think it looks great. Uh, Look, that's just one less Lego to eat. I understand. Um, uh, no, but I was really happy this won because the NX-01, the Enterprise, it wasn't a hard build. It was stressful working on all of the water slides, but yeah, it didn't leave the best taste in my mouth finishing it up. Talking about eating Legos. So I am happy to switch back to this and get a little work done on just like I don't know a fun little Lego set. We're doing a camper van. That's fun. I was happy. I picked this up on Amazon and I was happy to start working on it. But yeah, trying to watch licensed stuff is always odd. I spent the Non Biori, the movie I was trying to say is only available for purchase. It isn't available streaming anywhere, and that's a bummer. And I understand it's a movie, but I want to watch it, and I don't want to own physical media, and then I also don't want to have to like get a DVD player from somewhere in this house and plug it into a monitor. Like, I just don't want to do that. You should build some Warhammer 40K. I've certainly thought about doing some Warhammer. Um, I have picked the brain of a friend of mine who is far more knowledgeable about that than I am. So I can't make any promises, but I am certainly looking at that. I did pick up a kit, a weird looking high grade to build in the future for an event. Now, I will have more details about this event. It's going to be in April when we get closer to it, because I don't know exactly when. But I'm going to be part of a group that is doing a charity stream, and it's all model kit builders. So I am joining in with them. Yes, so a weird high grade is a weird looking kit. I thought I had built every odd looking kit from Build and Build Divers and Build Divers Retry and all that, but I did find a Build Fighters kit that is weird that I haven't built yet. So I am excited to put that together because I'm going to be doing it as part of this charity event. There will be eyes watching us in the stream that haven't seen me before. So I was like, oh, I would like to do something a little special. And of course, I have already built on this channel one of the weirdest. Oh yeah, sorry, I haven't been here for a while. No problem, Zero. Totally okay. Welcome. Happy to have you here. It has been. I've already built the weirdest high grade of all time, which is the Devil Gundam from G Gundam, because it's giant. It's a big head, and then a torso coming out of it, and then the top part of a mobile suit. And that's still that. There's not going to be a weirder model kit. The high grade, in my opinion, that's the weirdest high grade I've ever built. Like the Zagok is weird, but it still makes some sense. But like a big head and then a mobile suit comes out of it. That's just so strange. It's just a weird concept. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Zero, but I understand. It's been a year. It's been a fucking year. So I get that. Also, yeah, like there are streamers that I watch that I take breaks from because sometimes people play games I'm not into or do stuff that I'm like I'm not really feeling this. What a season indeed. Any high grade you can recommend? So I always say like the last 5-6 years have been really good for mobile suits. Um, the Leo that came out from Gundam Wing, the new Leo. I forget what year it is. Maybe 2018. That's a really solid kit. Um, uh, I would recommend that. What did you see? The Death Army high grade came out from G Gundam. That's a really solid, weird looking kit, like a weird that I enjoyed putting together because that's just, I mean, it's from an odd show. But yeah, the new Universal Century high grades. The NPD Leo came out not too long ago. So it's the classic Leo. There are a bunch more that came out recently. This was the high grade from Gundam Wing Leo. I forget. Maybe it was like 2018, but that was just a classic one. But they put out a few new ones, but I think those might have been premium Bandai only, so they would be very expensive on the aftermarket because that's how they do that. Um, but yeah, they put out some good ones. I gotta drink a little water here. I'm sorry, I'm parched. I had, I mean, it was 3 hours ago. I had a bunch of peanut butter, but I did have a bunch of peanut butter, and that can mess up, you know, can make your throat a little dry. It was extra chunky, crunchy, I should say. Uh, uh, Leo like real grade tall geese. Uh, okay. I mean the real grade tall geese. Yeah, there's um, some good. I mean, tall geese is one of the best kits because it's a. I'm a sucker for mobile suits that have a night theme. That's night with a K. Love that. The Aegis is in my backlog here. You can see that right here. The Aegis is Aegis Knight. It's got Knight in the name of it. I mean, it's got a lance and a shield, and I'm into it, and a big shield like that. That's something that I'll be building in the future because I have the high grade. I can't tell you if that's a good kit or not, but I can tell you that I'm looking forward to putting it together. Also, because it's got that neon green, and that's just a fun color to be in a mobile suit. Um, but yeah, there's okay. We need this and this. That goes like that. All right. Hi, Pat. Miss you, buddy. Oh, thank you, John Robert. Miss you too, my friend. Hope you're doing well out there in the world. All my love to you and the fam. Um, but yeah, happy to have you here on a Saturday evening, buddy. Uh, we're just just working on a Lego set, talking about stuff, hanging out. Um, I look forward to having more things to talk about during a stream because I feel like on streams I often these days talk about the kits that I'm working on, and uh, then sometimes a rant happens, uh, and I don't love that. I don't mind doing a rant because they come up, and sometimes I have stuff it's nice to say, but I feel like I've been ranting a lot lately, and that's not always the healthiest thing in the world. And then uh, I'm like, okay, and what else? And what else? And that's been tough. I mean, that's a okay. So I got two very good questions in here. Rants can be good, some good content. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it comes out, but I feel like I've been doing a lot. The G Self. I have not built the G Self, so I can't tell you zero. I'm sorry, I have not worked on the G Self. I've not. I don't think I worked on the GL either. So I can't tell you if that's a good kit or not. So sorry about that, but I don't have any experience working on it. And then Bobby says, why don't they make mecha anime anymore? I don't keep up with anime that much, but I haven't heard of any new mecha anime in a very long time. So, there's a mecha anime out this season, but it's not the kind of mech anime that I think you're thinking of. Back Arrow is a show where suddenly a person is piloting a giant robot that just kind of appears because of magic. Um, so it's that kind of giant robot show. Um, and I stopped watching it because I don't like shows where the main character has amnesia. And it also was just kind of weird. It just like I bounced right off it. Once I had to find out why it was called Back Arrow, and it's called that because someone calls him a Bacaro, an idiot, a fool, and he thinks they said Back Arrow, and they're like, well, that's my name, Back Arrow, which is nonsense, and I can appreciate the nonsense of that. But yeah, uh, there was listeners last year. Darling in the Franks, yeah, Darling in the Franks is probably the last and of that type. I mean, there were some robots in SSSS Gridman. Uh, um, but yeah, I think Gridman has some robot stuff in it, but that was mostly a Ultraman style show, so that's a little different. Um, Listeners bounced right off. I just felt boring. I wish I liked it. I didn't. Um, and yeah, Darling in the Franxx is probably the last of the like. This is a show where people pilot big robots, which has its own issues as a show. Um, there's going to be a new Gridman, so maybe we'll get more mechs and robots in that. Uh, yeah, a lot of it is just like it's expensive. It's just expensive to do all the designs, and while the market is still good, um, starting from scratch with doing figures and all of that, it can be tough. Uh, and also, people follow trends, right? Uh, a there there are web novels that are mecha web novels, but they're rare. And there hasn't been a big web novel that transitioned to being collected, that transitioned to having a manga, that transitioned to having an anime. If that does happen, then um, then you'll start seeing copycats or people who have been waiting for the day that they could get their story told that way. What lately, most of, if not all of the mecha anime that you're going to see is original ideas. It is somebody who's had success in the past, works together with a new team, and gets funding through traditional means to work on a new project. Excuse me. So that's kind of where that is at. So it's kind of just waiting to see. Um, which is why you have so many like isekai. Isekai are still big because the isekai boom took off. Web novels were getting published and getting optioned. They were coming out into manga. Those manga were coming anime. This has become its own thing, and people chase trends. That's why you had you couldn't you trip over. You could not see magical girl that was dark stories because that was popular for a time and was getting made. So more people were working on those stories. Shonen's always going to be a big deal. It's always going to work. There's two new or 2 to 3 new series this season that came out. Two last season, you know, 8 last year that get produced. Um, you're still going to get your like series that are going to run for months and months and months. Uh, like because yeah, um, Shaman King is coming back. They're going to redo Shaman King. There's going to be a new Bleach series coming out. Like Shonen is always going to be king. The kind of like for boys action series are going to be happening. Uh, but I am happy to see that isekai is a subgenre. The subgenres within the subgenres are still popular. We are getting the Saint is overpowered, or no, the Saint is invincible. I forget the name. Sorry, I apologize. I'm going to look up the name. Uh, it is a traditional isekai, and I'm very excited about because I love a good traditional isekai. Let me go see over here the name of it because I wrote it. I talked about it on the Saint's magic power is omnipotent. It's a long name. Not that long a name, but it's a long name. Which I just like the idea. It's an isekai where an office worker lady is suddenly transported to a fantasy world, but she was set. She and another girl were brought over at the same time, and they decide, oh, well, you were the one that's brought here by mistake. The other person's the saint. So she's like, okay, I'll just leisurely live my life, and then she like ends up studying medicine and turns out to be a great healer because her magic wasn't offensive magic, her magic was healing magic, which they didn't test for, something like that. Um, and turns out she's probably the saint, but it's also a romance and sometimes a little slice of lifey, and I like that. I like that. That's like a traditional style story, and I'm into that. I think that's pretty neat. And I like that we still get to see those stories. Uh, that to me is just cool because those are the things that I'm into. Uh, I mean, for me talking about shows when I talk about the shows I'm watching, I watch a lot of different kind of things, but I'm gonna watch Saint. I'm gonna watch the I've been killing slimes for 300 years and max level. Um, Like those are the kind of shows that I'm interested in. I'm probably not gonna. It's a fun premise, but uh there's a VR MMO game anime that I think the premise is really interesting. That like it's it came out like they were like we're making the most realistic game. If you are hurt, you feel hurt, uh, and you have to do all the tasks and there's no like shortcuts. Like if you want to cook a meal, you have to do all the steps and all this stuff. It's the most expressive, hardest VR MMO experience. Um, and then players didn't want to play it because it was too hard and not fun. So somebody gets tricked into playing it, and he's like, "All right, well, I'm going to beat this thing because I have to, or I don't know." But it's also got like harem elements and like annoying characters, and I was like, "Nah." I think this premise is great, but I don't think I'm going to watch it. Which is maybe I'll watch the first episode to see if like it's just got a bad uh, like if it. Oh yeah. Also, there was a. Also, like the big punchline at the end was the introduction of a character. His childhood friend is Yandere, and scary. And I was like, oh well, that no thanks. I already really dislike tsundere type characters, girls who are the kind of character who is angry and mad because they like you. Um, Well, there's also the ones that are so into you that they are scary about it. Like they're so into what you that it is uh, damaging, and then they just get kind of scary about it, and you're like, are you in love with me or are you gonna murder me? Uh, that's yandere, and that I'm not interested in any way, shape, or form as a character archetype. No engine in this car. Hey, did you ever notice this about Lego that they put um, they're all one seaters? I mean, some look. This is not to say if you get yourself a car, if you're building a car that is like you know uh, if you get yourself a car there that is like I built a Porsche. That's going to be model right. But for this thing, this camper van, it's just one seat in the middle. And I wonder if that's because it's like, well, if we put it on the left or right, it might be the wrong side. And so we would have to switch that. So we'll just put it in the middle. But like, it just feels weird that they designed this camper van to drive in the middle instead of because there's room on either side. I don't know. Bulma pre Vegeta, Lord Crashington a little bit. Bulma is just angry more than she's tsundere or yandere in Dragon Ball. She's mostly just like because she has a crush on Yamcha, but it's not mean or anything. She's just a hothead and also almost exclusively justified in being short tempered. Yes, but yeah, Lord Crashington often the temper is completely fake. Like the type of tsundere character I like is ones that just get called out on it immediately. Like, oh, you like him, huh? It's usually this thing of like, it's that childhood thing of I like you, so I'm going to push you down at the playground. But it's like a teen character doing that, and so you're just like, and they're like, They say stuff like, I guess I'll let you sit next to me. I guess I'll have time for that. It's like, okay, just be honest. I don't have time for this. It is just a character trope I don't enjoy. Eris, the character Eris is in Jobless Reincarnation, is a tsundere character. She is incredibly violent, but just wants to be praised and wants people to like her, and she's doing it for attention, and she also is doing it because she doesn't know how to be honest with her feelings. And it's like, I get that and I understand that. It doesn't mean I like it, even if I can understand why these scenes are happening. Still annoying. But she is. I mean, it's going to change now because the series is. We'll find out on Monday, but the series is taking another turn. We will talk about excuse me, the anime I am watching. We will get into that uh, after our pause of the cause, which is coming in a couple minutes. But I do want to say the 1000th episode of Case Closed, aka Detective Conan, aired today. Uh, that's 1,000 episodes of an anime. That's a lot of episodes of an anime. And the great thing is that's such little of the manga because there's so many like retellings and stuff that wasn't in the manga and like it's just going to go on forever. It's been airing yearly since 1996. Now sometimes they would just air like some episodes, like 20 something episodes in a year, and then it would be another year. This last season has lasted for 3 years because it's just been continuous. Uh, uh, I'm surprised it's not more. Isn't One Piece goes 1,000? Yeah, I mean, so the thing is that, like I said, one of the reasons why it's not more than 1,000 is because they would be like a year where they would only put out 12 episodes or 24 episodes. So even though it's been running since 1996, there wasn't that. Whereas One Piece takes breaks now and again, but One Piece is like pretty consistently like always airing new episodes. Where like sometimes it'll take like 2 weeks, and one time it took like 4 months. I'm just clicking on One Piece now to see. Yeah, they're at episode 965 right now. So tonight during the stream they'll hit 966. Uh, but yeah, Detective Conan continues, and I think that's just neat that it's just still going on. There's been like 25 movies. It's just wild to think about that, like how long that show has existed. I just think that's cool. Always into that. It's not the longest running show. Oh, I thought it was 980-ish. No, no, there. So the manga hit over 1,000 chapters, but the anime hasn't hit that yet. So the anime would certainly be more because there's a lot more filler. And also, there's times where the anime is just doing like a third of a chapter as an episode. Um, but yeah, there's some longer show. There's some shows that are that are longer than that. Um, I think there is a slice of life like that's like a 5 minute show that is the Emperor's favorite anime and has been running. I think the voice actress of the main character just passed away, and she had done it every time up until like last year. They took a pause. The first time they ever stopped doing it was for any stretch of time was the oil crisis in the 80s. Almost every anime shut down for a while, and then last year due to the pandemic. But yeah, that I forget the name of it. It's Saide-san or something like that. I don't know. That is, as far as I know, is the longest running anime series. And then the one behind that, I believe, is Detective Conan, and that's cool. Uh, Check that. Drink a little more water. Sorry, my voice is. I don't know, just really dry tonight. All right, we're working on the lid of this. We're making really good progress. I think we're actually going to finish this tonight. Which since we knolled, I figured this was going to be a 1 day build. Uh, I know most people in the U.S. don't care for her voice, says Lashbrook. I don't know. But do you think people are prepared for Goku to die? Uh, I don't know, man. That's weird to talk. That's weird to think about. The voice actress who does the voice of Goku and Gohan and Goten has been doing it since Dragon Ball. Now I don't have a problem with it because I watched the original Dragon Ball dub, and then went back and started watching the other episodes, so I'm very used to it, uh, and I don't got a problem with it because I'm very used to the voice actress for Goku over the years. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think it will be front page news in Japan, uh, because that is an institution. Imagine having that. But also, like we were talking about this the other day, right? Like time just makes things so weird because like my friend Sarah has been doing the voice of Ash longer than the original voice actress for the U.S. version or the American dub of Pokemon. Now she's been doing it longer than the original, and that's just like so bizarre to think about. Uh, she's been doing it even longer now, from when it was on the WB, and then moved to Cartoon Network, and then eventually now it's a bunch of stuff is on Netflix. Yeah, just weird. It's just strange. Everybody gets there. Oh, this is how this thing works, right? You know, there are people who their Dragon Ball Z is Kai is the shortened version of that like series. That's how they watched it, or they read it, or they watched dubs years and years and years ago, like I did, or however they oh, if you watch Super on Blu-ray, I have to. I would love to have watched it on Blu-ray instead of watching it weekly, because some of those shortcuts were real bad. They fixed some of that animation, not all of it, but they fixed some of it. But whoo boy, some of that came in real hot and looked real bad. Some of those fights did not look great. We're gonna take a pause for the cause, folks. We're not done with the kit, but we're getting close to it. But we're gonna take a couple minutes to talk about ways you can support the channel. Brawly Super movie looks great on Blu-ray. I would not be surprised. I mean, it looked great in when I saw it. theaters. All right, we're gonna go back to here for a moment. Um, if you're new to the channel, what's happening right now is I'm going to talk about ways you can support what I do here. You are under no obligation to do so. If you would like to, um, give me a follow if you're not already doing that. I build model kits, Lego sets, Gunpla on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Time. On Wednesdays, we do something else. This coming Wednesday, I'm going to be playing a Pokemon Emerald randomizer run. I played it off and on. It's completely randomized. We're just playing through Pokemon Emerald, but we never know what Pokemon we're going to catch, and we never know what our opponents are going to have. It's random. It's fun. It's not a Nuzlocke. I got to stress that. It's not a Nuzlocke because Nuzlocks make me sad, so I don't want to do it. Anyway, that's coming up on Wednesday, but I wanted to promote that here in the middle. This is where I talk about ways you can support the channel. Like I said, subscribing. If you're currently a subscriber, let's throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe emote in the chat. Let the people know that you subscribe. Ghost says fair. Yeah, they make me sad. You get an attachment to Pokemon, and then you lose them, and you can't use them anymore. It's a bummer. But yeah, throw those emotes in if you're a subscriber. Becoming a subscriber is an easy way to support what I do, either using your Twitch Prime token, your Prime Gaming token, or Cash Money. That is a great way to help me out here because I appreciate that. I have been doing this for almost 4 years, which is just bizarre to say, but yeah, I've been an affiliate for almost 4 years. That's coming up in the summer. I'll celebrate that because I don't think I ever have after the first year of being an affiliate. I think I forgot to do that, so we'll do something later in the year. But also, gifting subs. You can join Aristofan at the gift sub leaderboard. That's a great way to support what I do, helping other people out. Also, so they don't see pre-roll ads and they get cool emotes. Harold gave some bits and coins, always appreciated. And yeah, you don't have to do any of these things, but you totally can, and it'll be great. I have other ways to support what I do. I have a Patreon, because of course I do. Patreon.com/PatBear. There are tiers that are cheaper than Twitch. $1, $3. There's a $5 tier. There's a $10 tier, and there are different rewards for each tier. So take a look at it. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube, well, subscribing to my YouTube is free. So you could jump in on that and subscribe to my YouTube for free. But I also offer YouTube memberships. So you can join if you wanted to on YouTube. Jam just cheered 85 bits. Thank you so much. Get the applause on my soundboard. Thank you, Jam. Appreciate that very much. But yeah, you can subscribe for free, or you could join for $2 a month. If you want to go through that, because you got Google Pay or whatever, or your PayPal hooked up there, you can do that. Now, everything I make through Patreon and YouTube and Twitch goes to buying model kits. It all goes back into this operation. But I also have direct donations. If you were just like, here's $8, put it towards buying a model kit. That would be great. And I'll buy a model kit with that money. It goes in with other money, and your money gets pooled. And then I buy model kits and build them on stream, or Lego sets, or whatever. I have to change that because that says here are some link instead of here are some links. So I got to go into Nightbot and edit that. I don't know why I didn't before. I also have an Amazon wish list. That's something. If you were like, Pat, I know you have things you're building, but what if I bought you something and it got mailed to you and then you jumped the queue? And I would say, well, you buy something on my Amazon wish list and we'll do that. I got Lego sets. I got nano blocks. I got model kits, high grades, master grades, all kinds of things. I put in the Beast Liger from Zoids Wild, which is a couple of years ago, they put out a new Zoid series. It's the white Liger. I would love to build that. That's just a weird thing I could build. Yeah, Lego sets, model kits, inexpensive kits, very expensive kits, all kinds of things there. I'll shoot a video where I talk about what it is and thank you for doing that. You can do it anonymously, or you can have your name because you can sign a little message, which is very fun. Alternatively, if you wanted to buy a gift card to USA Gundam Store, you could do that, and then they'll email you a code, and you could send me that code through a DM on Twitter. It involves more steps, but it doesn't involve Amazon that way. So there's benefits to that. We will get back to building in just a moment or two. I want to talk about a few other things. A free thing that you can do is you can subscribe, or you can join my Discord. I post build photos at the end of every stream. People post things they're working on. Look, it won't be the most popular Discord you belong to, but it is a nice one, full of cool people. And you just check in when you want to check in. Post stuff if you're working on things. If you put together IKEA furniture, you want to show off your cool IKEA cabinets, like do that. That's great. A couple things I will tell you about. I have some video series that I do that I want to tell you about. Pat Baer's Anime Club. I made a video about shows that I watched, my favorite anime from the 80s. I talk about 6 shows, movies, television shows, and OVAs. This is my lowest viewed Pat Baer's Anime Club. And that's fine, except it isn't fine. It's fine in the sense that people watch what they want to watch, and maybe people are like, 80s anime, that's something, I know what I liked from the 80s, sure. But it is a bit of a bummer. So if you want to check that out, you don't have to. You can. Also, like and comment. It helps. Blah, blah, blah. Bear With Me is a weekly series. It's Pat Reacts to Things video series. I made reaction videos because everybody makes reaction videos. But they're like people like this high school volleyball player reacts to Haikyuu, or this musician reacts to music they've never heard before, or this doctor watches cells at work. And like, I'm just a dude, so it's just me reacting to things. And mostly they're short videos with animals, like this one. I'm at a cool weasel named Ozzy, and you can watch me have an honest reaction to that. I don't know. It's fun. It's a fun little project that I'm doing. I enjoy doing. All right, so I'm going to talk about some anime that I'm watching, and also I'm going to drink even more water, and then we're going to get back to this kit and get farther in this kit. So let me do that. I got to do that. I got to switch over to this. I got to hit this here. And I'm going to talk to you about So I'm a Spider, So What? JUJUTSU KAISEN, and With a Dog and a Cat, Every Day is Fun. Those are the shows that I watched since Thursday's stream. Horimiya, I am taking a break from because it is getting dramatic, and I was just not feeling it. So I'm taking a break from it. Because I'm okay with that. I like the show a lot. It's good. It's a good romantic comedy that feels very natural, and it's fun. But I'm like, I'm all right. I'll come back to it. All right. Working on the roof of this kit. So, I was right. I'm just going to be like, ha ha ha, I knew it, I knew it, I knew it. If you haven't been watching Soma Spider, So What? A whole classroom of kids got isekai. They got brought to a different world and reincarnated, right? And in real time, we've been watching the juxtaposition of these human characters dealing with their human lives. Some of them are elves, and one of them is dragon, but whatever. But most of them got reincarnated as humans. But one of them got reincarnated as a spider. And it's been presented as if, oh, well, she's dealing with a dragon, the spider girl, and also they're dealing with a dragon. And it's been like presented as if it's happening in real time. Because there was even a thing where, like, in the same dungeon she was in, a hero was there. It's not the same time. It's not the same time. Because why would it be? Because the kids were born and grew up. So the spider was born the same time as they were, but it's presented as if they're happening at the same time, but everything that's happening to the spider is happening in the past. And they illustrated that because there was an egg that in an early episode, there was a moment where she found an egg. That egg was a dragon egg that was a character that grew up there. And they talk about this incident where they got this scarf that was made out of dragon or spider silk that was from the home that she made. So I was right. Everything that's happening to the spider happened in the past, which leads me to wonder, Is the demon lord the spider? Did she become, because she looks a little spidery, is the current demon lord the spider? She might be. She the spider might be the villain of the show, because by the end of it, um, the end of this episode, our main dude, human dude, Shun, he suddenly acquires the title of hero, because which only means that his brother was just murdered. Uh, Hello, Dunk. Welcome. That would be a fun twist. Yes, I'm doing well. Welcome. It would be a fun twist. I think our spider is uh is like the major villain of the show, which is interesting. But yeah, I called it that that they were presenting events as if they were happening in real time, but that they weren't, and that's cool. And then let's see. Also, uh, we found out that we learned a little bit about the administrators. There's a character. This series is set up in a world that is somewhat like a video game world, um, or like an RPG, uh, and it's very clear that there are characters who are like watching what's happening. Apparently, there is an administrator that the spider is like her pet project. She calls herself an evil god, and she's just like, yeah, you're here for my amusement. Because another administrator was like, how did a dragon die? What's this character? And he shows up and he's like, hey, what's going on? But he's talking in a language the spider can't understand. Now, in the Japanese, in the original audio, a fun moment happened where she says in broken English, I wrote this down. Um, Sorry. I don't speak. Sorry. She says, I don't speak isekai in English. It's like, I don't understand, okay? And she's like, hey, I don't understand what you're saying. I don't speak isekai. Um, Now, the subtitle, because writing that I don't speak isekai in English isn't the same joke as a Japanese person or voice actor saying I don't speak I don't speak isekai in English. So they translated it as no habla isekai, as if that she said Spanish. And I bet that joke is going to work better in the dub. But having a character, the translation of uh, I don't speak isekai in English translate to I don't speak isekai or no habla isekai. I think it was like that joke is lost in translation a bit, and I understand that that would be hard to translate properly. Um, what is your most expensive Lego? Um, the most expensive Lego set I have that I've built is the 2011 Millennium Falcon. Not the biggest, most expensive Millennium Falcon. One the one step down from it. It was like well over several thousand pieces. Um, that Millennium Falcon features old Han Solo. It's not the one that like you have to like that that you need like a wheelbarrow to move around. But that one is probably the most expensive Lego set that I've built. I don't usually go out of my way to pick up incredibly expensive kits. I'm usually picking up kits that are uh, less expensive that are still fun to build. Um, Evening, Pat and Chat. How goes it? Just got back from a shrimp boil. Well, hell yeah, Dirty. I hope that shrimp boil was great. It goes well. We're getting close to finishing up this kit. Talking about some anime stuff. Talking about big revelations. A war is going to happen between the demons and the humans. Um, and also, our spider is just freaked out. Because, yeah, and then we got introduced to a bunch of whole demons. There's a demon lord. It's a whole thing. They're going to go to war with humans. I'm not sure if the show wants me to side with the humans or not because they kind of suck ass. And our main character is a cool spider who just had it rough. So I think I want to root for the spider. So fully gonna watch you then go slip into a food coma on the couch. Hell yeah, Dirty. I understand and appreciate. I guess we're gonna start. We got enough time left in the stream. This is almost done. I guess we're gonna start another kit. I'll go with what almost won the poll for my patrons, my $10 patrons, because the thing that came in second place. We'll just jump to that. Because this I thought this was gonna take the whole stream, but it's taken less than the whole stream, so that's fine. I don't want to get too much into Jujutsu Kaisen, except to tell you, it got weird. Jujutsu Kaisen is already a weird show, but they went weirder with it. They were doing this like interpromotional thing between the two schools, and instead of doing a tournament, because it looked like they were going to do like one-on-one matchups, they played baseball. The two schools just played baseball, and there were a couple moments that were incredibly funny, like Maki, who's a pretty good pitcher, just instantly threw the ball intentionally at Toto's head, and then everyone said nice pitch. Everyone except for Yuji and Kasumi, the blue-haired girl who is too nice. Everyone was just like, nice pitch on both teams because nobody likes him. And it was just like, oh, that's brutal. Everyone had uniforms. Some people didn't know how to play. And they didn't really show too much of it, which is great. But in the end, the Tokyo team won. Everyone's okay. I mean, some people were clearly beaten up from the fight, but everyone seemed all right. And then the principal said for now, they're not going to try to kill Yuji, which is good. Also, there was introduced to a new character who they don't know who that is, but apparently there's either a new sorcerer who's evil or there is another curse. But I don't know. All right, so I'll show this off here before we get going on our next kit. This opens up here. So you can place things in there for some seating, for your display, if you're going to put this on display. We've got our little cooker. You could also, if you wanted to, you could take out these seats and the table from the vehicle here and put them as a set there if you want to do that. And then we got our little people here. And place them in the vehicle, but I'm going to put them in front of the vehicle for photography. But yeah, they're setting up the next series, and I'm glad this tournament arc was short because tournament arcs can be handled very poorly in anime, and this one wasn't. It was good. And then before we wrap this up, I'll tell you about this episode of With a Dog and a Cat, Every Day is Fun. This guy does not want to stay up. I want to take a photo. Put this here for my photography. They do not want to. There we go. Get my photography going. The owner bought an expensive brush, which the dog likes. She bought expensive brush gloves for the cat. Cat doesn't like it. Dog has a bad sense of direction. The cat also has a bad sense of direction, but does not care because the cat knows that the human will bail it out, and that is all I need to tell you about that episode of With a Dog and a Cat, Every Day is Fun. It's a cute little show. I mean, it's like a minute and a half long. Very good. 2 minutes long. All right, and there we go. Again, I thought this was going to take the whole episode, but we have more time to do some building, so we're going to move on to another thing. Put this aside. I am going to go to the BRB screen, but I'll keep talking to you because I have to get out of my chair and get equipment. So we'll just do that while I get out of my chair. Oh, stretch out a little bit and get all my gear. And the next kit I'm going to be working on, this got a couple votes from my $10 patrons, but it didn't get as many as the other. So we would have Lego first. We're going to start this, but I am excited to work on this kit next here. And now I'm back. The Heavyarms. All right, we're going to work on the The 2020 high-grade heavy arms. They are slowly starting to do brand new builds, new versions of this classic kit. This is obviously, if you don't know, we'll have to change the overlay of what the colors are going to be here. But this is the high grade from Gundam Wing. This is the Heavy Arms television version of the kit, which we'll be working on. As I said, this came out in 2020. This is not the 2012 model. So it's the high grade. It's brand new. We will be seeing the Death Scythe this year, which I pre-ordered, and then eventually they're going to be doing the Wing came out last year as well as a real grade. But yeah, I mean this is going to be a standard high grade, but it's a new version of a classic kit, which I really love. All right, let's pick our colors here. So for red, we're going to use brown. White, we're going to use gray. So let's go in here and we got to edit this here. So we'll just say, instead of lavender, we're going to use white. White, we're going to use the gray marker. We're going to use brown. And then orange is going to use black. Those are going to be our primary colors here. And then we can just adjust that like that. Yeah. Great. So those are going to be our primary colors, our choices, our marker choices here for our kit. And then we can get started. As I said, I did not expect to start this tonight. I figured I would end up doing, and I would know what we were going to do for Monday. But we can get a jump on it because we got time left in the stream. Yeah. Looking forward to working on this kit. It does have stickers. It doesn't have a huge amount of stickers, but it does have some, the eyes and stuff. We're starting with the chest, the body, as you would normally expect from a kit like this. And yeah, so I caught up the last 3 episodes of Starter Town, and I gotta say I'm pretty much done with the entire cast of female characters. Lastbrook, yeah. I like Riho. Riho is the only character I like because her crush is basically just like, I don't know, I met a good dude and he's really capable. But she is definitely the voice of reason among the cast, so I appreciate her. But Selin, don't like Selin. Never liked Selin. I thought she has a really cool story of but I mean she's yandere, and just annoying, and I'm not into her character at all. So yeah, so not a big fan of her. And then Marie, I go back and forth of liking Maria and not liking Marie. She's at least smart enough. I love that she's a character that understands that if you tell Lloyd to kill a monster, he's going to be like, oh, I can't do that. But if you're like, hey, Lloyd, can you clean that old man up? He'll do it, and then you get what you want. I love that choice. I wish more characters were like, oh, we can just trick Lloyd into helping us out. And then there's the incredibly capable fighter Philo, and I'm not into her at all. I need more about what her fucking deal is. All I know is she likes her sister and she likes Lloyd, and yeah. That show, I'm tempted to read the manga just because I feel like it would definitely be slower paced and more fun. Because people tell me that the anime is making the choice to be sped up and just going through it. But yeah, I'm not super into it. I would like to be, because I think the premise of having an overpowered main character who has always thought that he was weak, and he is weak compared to the people he grew up with, but now that he's among people who are not that strong, he's just completely outshining them. I think that is a fun premise. Also, it has a tragic queer villain, and get the fuck out of here with that. That show has so many things it definitely didn't need to introduce a character. If it wanted to introduce a character that hates Lloyd, that's fine. But the fact that she hates Lloyd because she's in love with Marie in a one-sided relationship that Marie doesn't know about is just awful. I'm just like so opposed to that. All right, so let's hit this with some brown. We're going to do this as we build it, just to make things easier. If you haven't seen my marker technique, I do the quick and dirty method, where I'm just hitting spots here, and then I will hit that with an eraser and clean it up. And I'm not being too precious with it because the eraser will do a lot of the cleanup. And some of this will get covered anyway. Really, we just do it for the process. If I was doing this in my own build, I would, complete the segments. Some people will do panel lining all on the tray, and won't do it in the moment. But I like doing it as I'm assembling pieces as I go. Sometimes I'll complete like a full arm and do it, but yeah. All right, and we'll hit that with the weapons there. And then we're just going to hit this, and then, yeah, we'll hit with an eraser, clean up from our work. Some people use a Q-tip. Some people use just their fingers. Some people use a tissue. I like using this high polymer eraser because it just gets into place. It adds little stuff you have to clean up later, but also you can really see what you've taken off on it as you look at it. You can just see the lines that you've taken off. All right, here we go, and make sure the parts are facing the right way and the right position. You got it. Instructions. I'll definitely do that. So anyway, yeah, we'll talk about the next episode tomorrow of that, or on Monday, I should say. I dropped a lot more shows this season than I normally do. I'll say that about this season of anime. There were a lot of shows, and a lot of them I was just like, okay. And I know that there are some people who are really enjoying the things that I didn't. Like, there is a vocal group of people out there that are super into Skate the Affinity. And I respect their enjoyment. But boy, did I not like that show. The 3 episodes I saw of it. Just incredibly over the top characters that it was fine. But they call their battles these skateboard. First of all, they call it, it's just illegal betting on skating. But they treat it like it's the coolest, most underground thing in the world. It's just skateboarding. And also, when you're doing this illegal skate with other people, they call it beefing, or you have beefs. And I just can't take a show seriously that refers to arguments on skateboards as beefs. I just can't. You say I don't have the imagination or whatever. My suspension of disbelief does not work. But also, they're lovable boys in it, so I can understand why some people are like, nah, this is my shit. It's like, okay. I mean, yeah. I hope you really like it, but I don't particularly. All right. Get that in there. Put this on, and we'll do that. But yeah, there are a few shows that I was just like, like Back Arrow, I just wanted to know what its deal was, but I'm good avoiding that. And then, there are a couple shows I don't talk about weekly, but I still watch. I have been fairly unimpressed with the Quintessential Quintuplets Season 2. That is it's a romantic comedy, but the first season was really about getting to know all the girls and was like helping them. And it was there were a couple characters that were starting to fall for him, but this season every girl in the show has fallen for him, and there are 5 of them. I mean, there's one that hasn't as much, but I think I like the show less now that it is about now that a bunch of characters know how they feel about him. It has lessened my enjoyment of the show, which I was a little surprised about myself. That I was like, oh, I like this less now that it is these girls fighting with each other over a dopey main character that I don't particularly enjoy. I don't know. I want to like it more than I do. I just want another season of We Never Learn because that was my preferred. Because We Never Learn and Quintessential Quintuplets came out at the same time, and then We Never Learn they broke up into two halves, and I just want more of that because that was a really really good show. Really strong characters. Because they introduced a female character that wasn't in love with our main dude. Although obviously one, well not obviously, but one character didn't know she was in love. She didn't understand. But there was a girl who was just like, I understand what's happening here. I know exactly what's going on. It doesn't affect me that way, but I do find this whole situation hilarious, and that was just fun. Although We Never Learn does feature one of my least favorite things, which is a teacher who is also involved in the love. And it's just like, get out of here with that. What are we doing with this? Get this shit out of here. Uh, no time for that. All right, let me find E1 or E13, I should say. Oh, check it out. It's all our machine gun components, our internals. Hell yeah. We're gonna hit this with some black just to kind of make it feel look alive when the middle things open up. So we're gonna hit this with a lot of black here just to make some of this pop. It won't do a lot, but there are a lot of little nooks and crannies here that we can hit with a black marker. I might have to get another marker. I feel like I put so much ink on that the Enterprise that I'm probably going to pick up another black marker just because I have no idea. Like I'll know when it's out, but I have no idea when it's almost out. I mean, it wasn't that long ago that we got these, thanks to Lashbrook, but I feel like I put a lot of ink, black ink on that ship, so maybe I'll just have to get. I'll just get another black one just as a backup. All right, with that there, this is coming together nice and quick, nice and easy. This is so far really fun to put together. Enjoying this. So, if you're looking to, pick up a new model of an old favorite, of mine at least, I am enjoying this so far. I got to put some stickers on this, huh? 12 and 13, our first stickers of the stream. Let me get my X-Acto blade out here. Use our X-Acto knife. Show you my... Oh, sorry for that. That reflected very strongly, and I apologize for my overhead light. 12. 12 is this. I haven't talked about how I do this for a while, so I'll say this right now. I like to see the edge of the sticker and use my blade to push away from the sticker a little bit, so that I can then get my blade underneath the sticker in question, so that I am not just stabbing it and I don't cut through it by mistake. That seems to work out well for me. All right, and then 12 is looking at the sheet. It goes like this. So then we'll take it here, and we are going to fit it and fold it, which is my least favorite idea of stickers, is the fitting and folding. Because I feel like if you're just putting a sticker on, you'll usually be fine. But when you have to put folds in it, that's where you don't get the full application. That's where you probably want to get a spray. But I'm not worried about this. These are not necessarily for display. If I was working in a store, then I would get a clear coat spray to spray over stickers. But I'm not doing that because this is not on display in a store. This is just for home. This is for enthusiastic instruction and then home use. All right. Stickers are applied. I don't work on kits at the same rate as you, so I've had more of a problem of them drying out rather than running out, especially if it takes a very long time. Oh, yeah, markers. Okay, yeah, you've had them just dry out on you. Yeah, I could also see that. If I went on a long period without using them, I could see them dry out. But really, what I should do is just have, like, I mean, look, if a marker runs out and I use it all up, that would suck, but I could pretty easily get a uh, get a replacement, within a couple days. So I'm not too worried about it. But I should have a backup. I should have like I don't need brown. I've rarely used brown. We'll use it on this kit. We have used it on this kit, but I should probably have gray as a backup because I build a lot of kits with white armor, a lot of white armored kits. So that's primarily I use gray on that. So I should have that just as a backup. Like that just makes sense, having a backup gray and maybe a backup black. But brown, I'll probably run into the problem of it drying out before anything else. So we're hitting our gray here. Oops, that's not our gray. It's our black. Said the wrong thing. Did the wrong thing. Hit that there. A little easier to hit this before I attach it. And then, of course, some of this we'll never see. But it's okay because it's not a big kit. Like I said, this is a lot of practice. I'm still new to doing this, so I appreciate getting some practice in with it. All right, so we'll hit that there, and then, yeah, I mean, we're not going to see any of that there, but it's still good to practice. And then we can hit this line here where the piece connected. We'll hit that. That'll look good. Hit that all the way around. And then hit that with eraser to clean up my excess. Dirty redeemed a question was like, coconut cream or key lime pie. I don't like either. If I had to, gun to my head, key lime pie. But in general, I'm not a sweets person. Just never have been. I'll eat a cookie now and again. I like a cookie. I like a thin mint. But I go for savory more than anything else. I want cheese and crackers. I want chips more than I want cookies and ice cream. Like I never think about ice cream. Um, so yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at with that. But yeah, just the idea of key lime pie, like my teeth hurt just thinking about that. Um, that's a fun question though. Thank you, Dirty. Appreciate that. We are gonna wrap up in a little bit, not too long. We got a little time. Let's at least look. We're gonna finish the chest piece here, but this is a little bit of a complicated thing because there's gonna be a couple stickers on here and some pieces have to go on there. But we got to get our chest plates done. We'll get our chest plates done on this kit, and then we are gonna raid though. If you're new to the stream, we end every stream with a raid. That is what we do here. We try to spread the love and if like, hey, I got 15 people, I got 20 people, I got 10 people, I got 5 people. Like, I wanted to show you a good time and show you somebody awesome out there doing cool shit that you should check out. So I always want to do that. But also, I got friends out there. It was ask a question or play the soundboard. Okay. But yeah, I got friends out there who stream, and I want them to maybe find a new audience. Maybe you can check out somebody cool, and you'd be like, "Oh, I like this streamer. I'll watch them later." Nice for the people out there. Lord Crashes did a redeem play the soundboard, and I will do that in just a moment. This soundboard is now a year plus old. Got it for Christmas, and yeah, we'll hit the. And then soundboard has been activated. Oh, these are tiny little pieces, aren't they? Look at these tiny pieces. These tiny little friends. They gotta go in here. Gotta do these real quiet, real nice. I think that I did that right. No. Didn't do that right. Shit. There it is. Is that right? I'm going to look here. I'm going to make this picture big. I don't always do this, but sometimes I just want to reference. How does the chest piece look? Doesn't look like that. Doesn't look like that either. I'm not sure how this little piece goes in. Does it go like this? Oh, okay, because that would be how it connects. All right, yeah, it goes like that. Okay. Yeah, because that way it pops in. This? Yeah, I think that's right. Okay. Sorry. They don't do a good job of explaining how this is supposed to look, so I had to make the photo bigger. Go. And like that. Booyah. We fixed it. Well endowed suit. Okay. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta pop the photo out and use it as a reference because the instructions are usually very easy to understand, but that one was they're like cut this out cleanly, and I'm like okay great, but how does this piece actually fit in? And they're like here are where the stickers go. It's like that's not what I asked. All right, we need 8 and 9. 8 and 9 are here. And we got to put some stickers in, then we'll hit some panel line stuff, and then apply, and that'll probably be the end of our stream because we'll finish the whole chest of this kit that I didn't think we were going to start tonight, but I am excited to work on it because I like the heavy arms. It is look, it's not my favorite Gundam Wing kit by any means, but it does have a knife blade and a wrist knife, and I don't know how you can go wrong with that. And big gun, and yeah, it's fun. Also, red and orange as colors are nice to see. Orange is definitely not used enough in model kits, in my opinion. So that is nice to see on a mobile suit. All right, so we got to put some stickers on here, and then we'll panel line, and then we'll attach these in and make sure we did it right. I'm still wondering if I put these little orange pieces on there right, but I don't know. All right, so, oh boy, what is stickers here? Stickers are for this is 8 and 10. There's 8 and there's 10. Obviously, this is a really tiny, it's a high grade. So these are going to be tiny. So you're going to be I'm going to be putting this sticker over here to give the blue from the chest piece on. I'm going to do my best with it. But this is a tiny sticker that has to go on. And yeah, I'm just going to try to do my best. Lightly apply it to there. But yeah, this is not the easiest thing in the world. All right, I think it looks pretty good. Yeah, that looks good. And then I got to put the one on there. As always, doing stickers at the very end of a stream is always a bad idea on my end, but I think we'll be okay. Because towards the end of a stream is when I get a little sloppy. All right. That looks good. And then we'll do the other ones for the other side. I guess I could have put these together to put these on so that way they lined up, but I think it'll be okay. And if it's not perfect, it's not perfect. Also, if I really mess this up, then I'll just have the chest open for photographs, right? Ha ha. There you go. There's the tip. If it doesn't look good, just, cheat it. Make it look good for photos. All right. Now we can make sure I put these in right. Hopefully also trying not to touch the stickers. And then we'll do any panel line that we need to do panel line for. So let's see if this went in right. Is this right? Yes. Yes, that did apply right there. And then start with this thing here. Oops. It's my favorite Gundam, says decidedly. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, the Heavy Arms custom from Endless Waltz, I really love because it's just like more of everything. But yeah, the color scheme is so great. The Itroa is a cool pilot. Um, yeah, the fact that it's just like I got a big gun and then also a knife is just fun. And I do have a soft spot for uh, kits with bladed weapons that are not beams. Oop, that sticker came off. Oh no, it's on my finger. Oh no. Delicately trying to open the sticker up that got a fold in it without damaging anything and then also without stabbing myself. Could have used tweezers for this, but we'll just use that. Okay. Now I've got to reapply the sticker. We're definitely going to try to reapply this and then leave it alone. This is all. I mean, there's going to be eye stickers because it's a high grade, so there's always eye stickers. But yeah, this is always stressful. Doesn't look perfect, but it looks fine. We're going to be okay with that. You did the Endless Waltz manga custom of this. Oh, yeah. That has so many more rockets and stuff. I love that it has, like, things that flip down on the legs for support. Like, that choice is so great. I did the Shenlong and the Death Scythe. The Death Scythe is great because it's fucking wings. Shenlong is fine. It's just a different shield and, like, a cool sword with, like, a chain on it. It's not that great. But the Death Scythe really did change it up by putting, like, wing-style wings on it, uh, which I really enjoyed. This doesn't need any panel. This doesn't need anything here. I guess no. We'll do that a little bit. We'll hit black around here a little bit, where the orange meets the orange. Gonna put that there. But yeah, all right. That Sandrock is kind of cool. I'm not a huge fan of the Sandrock in general. It's my least favorite of the 5, or the 6 with Epion. But the Armadillo armor is a cool choice because it's just like put more armor on the armor, and so I can respect that. All right, we're gonna wrap that up. We're going to call it quits here. On Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern, we're going to continue on our Heavy Arms, the 2020 release of this kit. And so I will be putting more of that together. We are going to go and raid, as I said. That is what we do here on the stream. So please come along on this raid. We're going to go find somebody awesome to go hang out with. I hope you will check out my stream on Monday. Again, if you don't give me a follow, if you aren't following me, please give me a follow so you know when I go live. Turn your notifications on. But Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern, we'll continue on this. That Lego set was fun. It was over a little quicker than I thought, but we were able to work on something else. You have a good night, too, Lord Crashington. But let's see. Who we got? Joe Kim is playing Final Fantasy. So we're going to go hang out with Joe Kim. Because Joe Kim rules. And why not? Let's go chill with Joe Kim. Just like a plus person. So thanks so much for hanging out. I hope you have a great rest of your night. Please come along on this raid. We're going to go hang out with Joe Kim, who rules and has a great community on a Saturday evening. I will see you on the next Build With Baer in the future, which is Monday, where we continue on this Heavy Arms. Thanks all for being here. I hope you have a great evening. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.